In January of 2023, I flew to Los Angeles to take a 6-day trip on a rented BMW R18 Classic. I originally planned a trip up the Pacific Coast Highway, but historic rain was hitting the Central Coast and washed out parts of the road. Instead, I decided to just wing it and headed south towards San Diego and then east to Arizona. For this trip, I flew with my riding gear on and only a tail bag and my helmet as carry-ons. After landing, I walked from LAX to the nearby Hertz Ride location to pick up the bike. Wrapping up the paperwork, I strapped on the tail bag and was ready to go. As I rode south out of the LA traffic, I began to get familiar with the bike. I've always been more than a little interested in the R18, and this trip is really a long test ride. Cruiser bikes have always been appealing to me, but I have never felt comfortable with the ergonomics of Harleys and Indians. All of my bikes have been BMWs, and I've always felt at home with them. For this trip, I left my 2021 R9T Scrambler at home, thinking that this might be a good opportunity to learn about the R18 and see if I wanted to add one to my garage. My first impression is that the R18 is an impeccable bike with outstanding build quality. It's beautiful to look at with impressive attention to detail. I've ridden a lot of bikes with boxer engines and love their stability and character. They sound and feel different than anything else on the road, which makes them a love it or hate it option for most riders. The R18's huge boxer engine delivers the same attributes in extreme fashion. It gives more than enough torque almost immediately, amplifying the torque lean that all boxer twins have. The bike offers plenty of feedback, making it a joy to ride. At lower speeds, it has a good amount of vibration, probably a bit too much for a lot of stop and go riding. It's also a very large bike, and you feel that at lower speeds. Like all larger bikes, it's not exactly nimble, but still very easy to control. On the highway, it finds its balance and everything gets smooth and stable. It's happy to plug away at 70 miles an hour, and the windscreen on the Classic model provides just enough protection to prevent fatigue without making you feel disconnected with the riding experience. By the time I got through Newport Beach, I was perfectly comfortable on the bike. As I got closer to San Diego, I began to stay as close to the ocean as possible with some incredible views. I got into the San Diego area just about in time for rush hour, which meant I was able to get the R18 into some lane splitting situations. Even though it's a big bike, it was perfectly capable of lane splitting when the roads were wide enough, and the traffic in San Diego is generally used to motorcycles, so they're pretty good about making way. I stopped in Lemon Grove at one of my favorite taco shops, Cotijas. This place has some of the best fish tacos in San Diego County, and their road tacos are pretty good too. After dinner, my camera batteries were just about dead, and the GoPro is really bad at night photography anyway. I headed towards El Centro on Interstate 8. The road was very cold, very windy. There was a little bit of rain, but not too much. I had to stop a time or two to warm up with some coffee, and didn't get to El Centro until well into the nighttime. I checked into a hotel, unloaded the bike, and got some much needed rest after a long day of travel. The first day on the R18 was great, and I was really looking forward to the next day.